Make me cry meatloaf. So darn good, but I'm telling you, there's so many onions in this, it gonna make you cry. And when you cut it open, it's gonna make you cry again. It's so good. Check this out. Look at that. Son. Let's see what we got. I've made this half a dozen times. It sticks together better once you let it cool a little bit. This just came out of the oven. Can't stand it though. We're gonna go in. Copious amounts of onions and ketchup. Woo! Man, this is inspired by a recipe I saw on Facebook. Go make it your own. But don't skip the crying because it's an integral part of this flavor. Y'all try it out. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is cut up a little jalapeno pepper. These need to be used, as you can tell. They're a little wrinkly. We're going to pull the veins out so they're not so hot. We're going to chop them up kind of fine, and we're going to dice us a little bit of onion. It's just regular yellow onion, and we're using copious amounts of onion for this deal, so don't be scared of using too much onion. We're going to go out in the garden. We're going to hit a little parsley right off our little herb garden right out front. Fresh parsley makes all the difference in flavor, especially when I'm putting it with something with tomato in it. So a little olive oil in our induction cooktop. Like I said, copious amounts of onion and jalapeno. Now this is going to be a 5-pound batch, 5 pounds of meat. So it's going to take quite a bit of onion. I'm going to say half an onion per pound. Neighborhood sounds like a lot. But that tomato paste that you're seeing now, after you sweat that aromatic down, that tomato paste is an integral part of this deal. You got to have that tomato paste. Now we're going to add our parsley in there, and we're going to mix this all around, and we're going to get it seasoned up. First thing we're going to do though is we're going to go in here and we're going to add some fresh breadcrumbs. Now we've got some of these hamburger buns that have been laying around. The breadcrumbs from Fresh, I think they're a lot better. We're just going to blend them up in the food processor. We're going to use some store-bought jarred breadcrumbs as well, but this goes a long way toward making a really great texture. So we're going to put this all together now with our breadcrumbs and our meat and all of our aromatics, tomato paste. This all stuff's cooked down first, so you can do this ahead of time if you want. We're going to go in and add meat now. We're going to, like I said, this is 5 pounds. We've got hamburger meat. We're going to add also some ground venison sausage and some ground venison burger, all in there. Now when I make this at home and I'm using store-bought ingredients, I'm going to use pound for pound of regular breakfast sausage to 80-20 ground beef. That's my typical mix. So I like half and half sausage to ground beef. That Texas beef goes in there. We've got that awesome black pepper, salt, pepper, garlic flavor. We're going to season this up really good with that Texas beef. And then, like I said, we've got a little bit of breadcrumb left over, but we didn't have enough for this deal. So I also figure, somewhere in the neighborhood, 1 to 2 eggs per pound of meat. Usually one egg per pound is usually sufficient. I think I'm going to do, always make sure you have enough egg to make sure you got a good bind on it. So once you crack all your eggs and everything in there, this is one of those things that gets a little messy. You got to wash your hands and get in there and mix that thing up. It's kind of ooey gooey, but hey, no big deal. Get your eggs in there and mix it up quick. Once you put your breadcrumbs in there, this is all going to come together and it's not going to be too ooey gooey. So don't worry about using your hands. And hey, for all you guys that say, where are your gloves? I'm not feeding you. This is for us. So I washed my hands. I know they're clean. I can go ahead and mix this up. Clean your hands up. And before you completely wash them off good, if you do wash them, wet your hands and then make your loaf with your hands so that it's not sticking back to your hands real bad. You don't want to overwork this because it'll really mess up the texture of your meatloaf. You want it nice and tender. So just until it forms a good loaf. And then we're going to go in now with our tomatoes. You can skip this step if you want, but I think the fresh tomato makes a huge difference. We're going to lay this over the top. And with any good meatloaf, you've got to have copious amounts of ketchup to top it off. So once you get your tomatoes on there, you can season them again at this point if you like. But we're gonna just completely dress this whole loaf with some good Heinz ketchup. If you've got Whataburger ketchup, use it too, but don't use that other brand. Now, we're gonna cook this one in the air fryer. You can do it in the oven. You can do it on the smoker, however you like. But as you can see here, we went in for 30 minutes at 325 degrees in the air fryer, and it just wasn't quite there. It looked great, but it didn't have the caramelization we wanted, didn't quite have the internal temperature we're looking for. As you can see here, went in a little too far, and when we come back out to the middle, you know, we're 120 degrees. So we got to put it back in there. About another 12 minutes at 350, and that helps caramelize all of that ketchup on top, give you that flavor that you're looking for and that temperature you're looking for. It is done. That is some awesome meatloaf. I promise you're going to love this. No matter how you cook it, it is going to be your new favorite. Woo! Man, this is inspired by a recipe I saw on Facebook. Go make it your own, but don't skip the crying because it's an integral part of this flavor. Y'all try it out.